with the Ultimate Racing League for the Sunday Championship. This is League 2. And as you can see on the map, we are at Suzuka. Now, obviously, as I said before, this is one make. So they're all in the BMW M6 Sprint. This is obviously 13 laps. We have 2 races for you. The first race is an all-out sprint. The second race, there will be a pit stop required and different tyres, but I'll go into that later. So anyway, so after they've been out, done their qualifying, and Hoggy gets pole, Chuck's in second, Pete White's third, Bloomfield's fourth, Rufus aka myself was in 5th, Jabba 6th, Flatby 7th, Clarence 8th, Firepower 9th, Vodka Rob 10th, and Benzo was in 11th. So let's get Hoggy to get us on the way. Right, so now up, just about to go out, and they're off. Streaming away down towards the first corner. Hopefully everyone can get around this first section without an issue. Like someone's already gone off. Oh, looks like Benzo had an off already, I think. Someone went off. Is it Benzo? Yeah, it was Benzo. Completely missed his braking point. But thankfully he didn't spin, so that's not too bad. But through these few sweeping turns, Hoggy's still got the lead with Chuck in second, P. White there in third, Rufus there in fourth, Rufus still in 5th, with Jabba still behind him in 6th. So at the moment everyone's still quite closely together. But Hoggy has pulled a bit of a gap to Chuck, not much, but he has pulled a little bit of a gap. Now this is probably, in my opinion, the probably hardest corner out of everything, because if you put too much power on coming out of it, you'll just spin. But everyone's got getting around it okay. No issues. Now up to the next corner, which can be a little bit tricky if you get it wrong. Let's go on with Bloomfield. Now, but you see, P. White has pulled out a little gap to him now. Coming up to the long sweeping left-hander. And this sort of corner comes up on you, you have to brake at the right time, because otherwise it gets messed up. And there is that gap between him and P. White at the moment, third. And you've got Rufus shortly behind him as well in 4th. Come around the next corner. At the moment you could just literally, just ahead you literally could just see, right ahead of you literally Chuck is all over Hoggy. Chuck is trying his hardest to get past Hoggy, but Hoggy obviously has got his car in the right position to make it very difficult for someone to pass. And if people are there in 3rd, obviously Bloomfield's there in 4th, with Rufus right behind Bloomfield looking to try and get past. Let's just stick with Rufus for a second. He is right in Bloomfield's slipstream current at the moment. Can he close the gap on Bloomfield at all? We can't close that gap, but they are sort of starting to open up. The top 5 are starting to open up a gap to Jabba now, who's there in 6th, with Flat B there in 7th, Carras in 8th, 500 in 9th, Benzo's 10th, and Vodka Rob he's had issues. He's gone out too wide, and the curves unfortunately spot him out, and he has hit the wall. So he's got to get himself back going again, which he does. But now he's got a lot of work to do to catch back up. Right, back, let's go and see what they're doing at the front. Obviously, Hoggy's still leading into lap 3. But he is under a lot of pressure from Hoggy at the moment. Hoggy from Chuck at the moment. But he's got P. White right behind him as well. And then you got Bloomfield. It's got Rufus right up behind Bloomfield trying to get past. They literally at the moment, Flat B has got up. Ooh. Looks like Jabba may have had an off somewhere. Sorry, I missed that. Because he was further up the grid. He was behind Rufus. I'll see, on lap 3, 10 laps to go. And at the moment, Hoggy is still leading with Chuck there in 2nd, P. White there in 3rd, Boofer there in 4th, Rufus there in 5th, Flat B there in 6th, looking to try and close the gap on Rufus. And he's got a bit of a gap to Cabs in 7th, and there's a bit of a gap to Firepower in 8th. And then there's an even bigger gap to Benzo there in 9th, and then a gap to Jab there in 10th, and he's got Vod just behind him. At the moment, it looks like the main battle is between 1st and 5th at the moment. And they're probably closer than everyone at the moment. It looks like Hoggy has pulled a gap to Chuck now. P. White is right there though, with Bloomfield there as well. Looks like there is a bit of a gap to Bloomfield now, so he's pulled a little bit of a gap. Looks like Flat B is starting to gradually close that gap on Rufus. At the moment, Hoggy is all purple. Could he be setting he has got the fastest lap at the moment. Could he be setting a new fastest lap? At the moment, Chuck is struggling to keep up with Hoggy. At the moment, Hoggy's just starting to drive away a little bit. Through that corner, positions are still the same. Flat B's the one to watch. He's definitely closing that gap on Rufus now. He is a lot closer than he was before. He's not catching him quickly, but he is catching him. It's like Rufus's best lap is a 2:01.9 at the moment, whereas Flat B is a 2:02.3. So Rufus is running a little bit quicker than Flat B, but not by much. Chuck has definitely closed that gap back up to Hoggy a bit now. Let's run with Chuck. Coming around the first section of the S's. Keeping it on the black stuff. Chuck is purple. With that bit of a gap to Hoggy at the moment. But P White's dropped off a little bit now. Coming up to the next very tight corner. Is he going to get it right? He does. Coming up to the next corner. Long sleeping White. White is there, still in third, with Bloomfield there in fourth. With Rufus there in fifth, he's dropped off a bit from Bloomfield now. And he's got, Flat B got that all wrong. He didn't go off, but he got it slightly wrong, so that's going to allow the gap to open up a little bit for Rufus now. Cab is just sitting pretty there in seventh at the moment. Doesn't look like he's gaining on Flat B at all. Firepower is there in eighth, and then there's a gap obviously to Benzo there in ninth. So he's at the moment he's all on his own. Jab there in 10th, and Vod there in 11th. We are on lap 6 currently. With Foggy still having that lead, but Chuck is looking to try and catch him. At the moment their lap times are very similar. So that's why Chuck hasn't taken over him yet. Because Hoggy actually does have a slightly faster lap time than Chuck does, with a 2:06. Chuck's fastest lap time so far is a 2:09. They pulled away from P White though, they're in third. He's got Bloomfield trying to close that gap on him. And there's Rufus there in fifth. He's just maintaining that fifth spot. I think he's Flat B just what happened to Flat B? Oh, he just got that corner a little bit wrong, too much acceleration, which has spat him out a little bit, but luckily he hasn't lost too much time. He's lost a bit more time to Rufus, but with that little incident, that's allowed Kebab Mans to close that gap onto him now. So is Flat B gonna have to start watching his rear end for Kebab Mans? With Firepower still there in 8th. So at the moment this is a battle for 6th between the three of them. So lap 7. Hoggy still has the lead, with Chuck still still chasing him down. And obviously P. White there in third. He's got Bloomfield all over his rear bumper, looking to try and get past. Now looks like Bloomfield's going to try and see if he could get out of that corner before P. White, but obviously didn't work. Comes around the next corner. Where Bloomfield's really trying to catch P. White and get past. But while them two are battling, Rufus is there in fifth. He looks like he's closing that gap on them gradually. And then there's Flat B there in sixth. He's pulled. Oh, what's happened? Oh, what's happened? Kebab has had an issue because he was ahead of Firepower. So he's had it now. He's got Benzo right behind him. So sorry I missed that. Obviously, Flat B is there in sixth. Firepower's now up to seventh with Cab down to eighth. He's got Benzo just behind him, not too far behind him in ninth. Jabba there in 10th, and Bod is well back in 11th. So we're on lap 8 currently. At the moment, Hoggy does look like he's looking to try and go get a faster lap time. But Hoggy does have that little bit of a gap to Chuck at the moment. But Chuck is doing everything in his power to try and catch him. But at the moment Hoggy's not having any of it. And then they've opened up a bit of a gap to P. White, who's got Bloomfield still right behind him. Their lap times are very similar. And then there's Rufus, who's been sort of not far off their times. Coming up to this next corner. Flat B still there in sixth. He's still looking to try and close the gap on Rufus. There's about probably a 5-second gap between the two of them at the moment. Flat B's just set his fastest lap of the race of a 2:01.4, whereas Rufus's fastest lap is a 2:01.6. So Flat B should be able to close the gap gradually on him, but obviously the laps are running out. And around the next corner. Chuck has the fastest lap now with a 2:05. I didn't notice that. I thought I completely missed that one. I thought Hoggy had the fastest lap still, but he doesn't. Chuck has the fastest lap currently. And there is a bit of a gap between first and second now. Hoggy has pulled away from Chuck. And then there's P. White there in third. He's been hounded by Bloomfield the last 2-3 laps. Let's just stay with these two, as this is probably the closest battle, probably. Oh, Bloomfield goes very wide there. And then there's... Did Rufus just go off? Oh, Rufus went a bit wide there, which would have slowed him down, but not too much. But that will allow Flat B to close that gap onto him a bit. We're just looking at it. Yeah, the gap has closed a little bit. But we have 3 laps to go. Hoggy is still leading with Chuck there in second. P. White there in third. Bloomfield's right behind him in fourth. Really pushing to try and see if he can get past up and get onto a podium spot. Bloomfield's going for it. P. White went a little bit wide there, and Bloomfield's done it. Bloomfield's now up to third place with P. White down to fourth. All Bloomfield's hard work to get past has finally paid off. It's taken them 2-3 laps, maybe more, but he's managed to do it. Rufus there, obviously in 5th, whereas Flat B is definitely closing that gap on him in 6th. 5 Power there in 7th. Cabs there in 8th. And then you got Benzo there in 9th, but Jabba just getting up to 9th pass, pushing Benzo down to 8th. Benzo down to 10th, I mean. Getting that corner a little bit wrong, but can Benzo come back at Jabba and get that 9th spot back from him? Oh, he looks like Jabba is pulling away from Benzo. Well, Hoggy still has that lead. Oh, Flat B's got past Rufus. What's happened to Rufus? Oh my dear Rufus. Coming up to this corner. Oh, he went completely wide and hit the wall. Trying to get it back going again. And he lost 5th place. Now Flat B has been able to take an easy 5th place from Rufus. Now Rufus is going to have to do that work to catch back up to Flat B and take that position back if he can in the 3 laps what are remaining. And 5 Power there is in 7th. With a gap to 8th in Kebab Bands, with Jabba there in 9th, Benzo there in 10th, and Body in 11th. Back up to front, Hoggy and Chuck are still battling out for that number 1 position. Hoggy has not given an inch at the moment to Chuck. Chuck has had to just stay behind him the whole race. Bloomfield there in 3rd. He has pulled away from P. White now. He is running quite quick laps, but I don't think there won't be enough laps for him to catch the front 2 guys. I very much doubt. Flat B there in 5th. He's got Rufus chasing him down, but there is not too much time. If Rufus wants to catch Flat B and retake that 5th spot, he's going to have to do something soon. Let's run on board with Flat B for a lap or less. Round the next corner. Rufus is right there behind him. Coming down this home straight over the line to start lap 12, with there being 2 laps left. Well, Flat B went out a bit wide, and then Rufus went out a bit wide. Let's see that again. The Flat B went out wide, Rufus got past, and then he did the next thing at the end of the corner, went wide, giving the position back to Flat B there. Through the next couple of corners here, Flat B has got a bit of a gap to Rufus now. And he is actually pulling, Flat B is actually pulling away from me, Rufus, now, by the looks of it. We're at lap 12, one more lap to go after this, with Hoggy leading, Chuck there a close second. Can Chuck do anything about Hoggy and get past on by the end of this lap, or on the next lap he is running out of time to be able to take over the lead? And Bluefield there in third. He's got a bit of a gap to P White there in fourth. And then Flat B there in 5th place. Coming up to the next corner, then you have Rufus there in 6th. Getting that corner wrong again. 2 laps in a row. So now he's got firepower all over him. I remember Rufus has had a couple of bad couple of laps. Coming on to the final lap now, he's got to try and see if he can stay ahead of Firepower. With Firepower now there in 7th, he has actually got someone to challenge. Now let's go on board with Firepower. Coming through the next out there, finishing off the S's. Rufus has pulled a bit of a gap to him now. Coming up to the next corner. Let's go back up to the front because they're coming towards the end of the lap. And Hoggy does still have the lead over Chuck. Chuck's done working his hardest to try and get past, but coming through the last chicane. And Hoggy is going to take race victory with Chuck finishing close second. Bloomfield will take third. P. White will take 4th. Flat B will take 5th. Firepower still chasing down Rufus. Oh, what's happened to Rufus? Rufus had a terrible 3 laps. he was doing well, and then 3 laps in a row his race went to crap. But Rufus obviously now Firepower finished 6th, Rufus finished 7th, Cab finishes 8th, Jabba finishes 9th, Benzo will come across the line to finish in 10th, and Vod, when he gets there, will finish in 11th. Now that was race 1. Congratulations to the top 3 of race 1. Now obviously we've got race 2, we're still at Suzuka, and as you can see they've had their break, and they've gone and had their break and rest, and they've come back and the heavens have opened and it is pissing down with rain now for this second race, and they are all in the wet tyres, I believe. Well, there is only one on intermediates, and that is Firepower. Very brave there, but everyone else has opted for the wet tyre. So anyway, for pole will be me Rufus, second will be Kebabman's, third will be Jabba, Buddha will be 4th, Benzo will be 5th, Firepower will be 6th, Flappy will be 7th, People Up will be 8th, Bloomfield will be 9th, Chuck will be on 10th, and Hoggy will start from the back after the race 1 win. So 12 laps, here we go. Let's see how they do. So Rufus takes them down to the start line. The lights are about, all 5 lights coming up, now they're out, and Rufus is a go. Racing down towards the start of obviously the first couple corners. Well, Java goes out a bit wide there. Allowing Rod to get up to 3rd. Jabba's dropped down a few spots now. So PY has dropped down to 11th now, so this first lap is proving very tricky at the moment. At the moment, Rufus has got the lead with Cab chasing him down in 2nd. Oh, me Rufus has just gone, and he's decided to go sand dusting. He decided to go and play in the sand. That's very unfortunate for me Rufus there. But now he's going to have to get back out the sand and back racing again. But he's been reset, so he doesn't have to try and get out of the sand because it's kicked him out of the sand already. So anyway, that's with Rufus going off. That's allowed Kebab Band to take the lead with Rob there in 2nd, Firepower there in 3rd, Flat B there in 4th, with Jabba chasing him down in 5th, looking to try and get past. Blizzard there in 6th, Chuck there in 7th, Benzo there in 8th, Hoggy there in 9th, P White there in 10th, and obviously me Rufus there in 11th spot. Down to from 1st to last in 1 lap. Cabs has opened up a little bit of a gap to Vodka Rob now. Vodka Rob went out a bit wide there. And Firepower there in 3rd. With Flappy there in 4th. Jab there in 5th. Bloomfield there in 6th. With Chuck there in 7th, all over Bloomfield's rear end at the moment, looking to see if he going to go and try and go for a pass here. He is going to try and go for a pass. Is he ready to get past and pull it off? He has at the moment, but will it all go wrong through the next corner? It doesn't. And Bloomfield there and still in 7th, looking to try and get past Chuck. With Ben's there in 8th, he's got Hoggy all over his rear bumper. They are side by side, with Hoggy looking to try and get past. So Hoggy has 8th, he's got past Benzo now. And you know, P. White's looking to try and get past Benzo now as well. Oh, Benzo's quickly lost it. Or was there contact between P. White and Benzo? I don't know. I think there was a tiny bit of contact there from them. Not much, but only a tiny bit. Yeah, I think it was only very... Oh, there was a tiny bit of contact, so P. White stopped to let him catch up. Rufus, so that's allowed Rufus to, well, not get past the position. So Cabs has opened up a bit of a lead now to Vodka Rob in 2nd. And has got a bit of a lead to Firepower in 3rd, but Hoggy's challenging for that 3rd position now. Oh, Firepower goes completely wide there. But it's like they're all trying to get past Firepower at the moment. Are they going to go free into this? Are they going to try and go free into this corner? No, they don't. But Chuck takes 2 positions in one go. So what a move there from Chuck. Just going to have to go back and look at that again. So great move there from Chuck, getting past the 2 guys in one full swoop. So that's put Chuck all the way up to 3rd, with Flatby there now down to 4th, Firepower down to 5th, Bloomfield there is 6th, Jabba there is 7th, Hoggy there 8th. Oh, Rufus, oh, Rufus. Benzo went out a bit wide. And it looks like he just did not want to allow him to turn, so now he's going to have to turn. He's got reset and he's going to have to get going again now. I think at this point, if I remember rightly, I was on traction control 2. I just upped it to traction control 5. I think it was this lap. Donny Cab has still got the lead with Vod there in 2nd, but now with Chuck up to 3rd, you can see him closing that gap quite quickly onto Vodka Rob. Like Chuck nearly lost it there, but he managed to keep it going. Bloomfield there's now past Flat B. He's got up to 4th place, pushing Flat B down to 5th place. Jabba there in 6th. Firepower there in 7th now, so he's dropping down the field gradually. Hoggy's there in 8th, still trying to get up the field. But is this going to be Hoggy's chance? Well, they are Firepower and Hoggy are side by side now. And Hoggy does have that little bit of a gap, but who's going to have the biggest balls for this corner? That would be Hoggy. Oh, Hoggy just lost it. At the moment, Chuck has the fastest level for 2 minutes 19.8. At the moment, Rufus is there into 11th. He's really struggling on this track, unfortunately. We've just seen a lap time of 2 minutes 42, and there's a big gap to Hoggy in 10th now. So Rufus has got work to do. The cab there in 1st place, still on lap 4. Vod still is there in 2nd place, but there's a bit of a gap between the two. And there's Chuck there in 3rd. It looks like he is closing that gap gradually on Chuck. Always remember as well, while we're watching Chuck, to like, comment and subscribe on my channel. And for obviously anyone who is watching the stream who isn't racing with URL, get signed up and we'll get you racing. So Bloomfield is in back to the race. Bloomfield is there in 4th, with Jabba there in 5th. Flatby there in 6th, with Firepower there in 7th, Benzo there in 8th, P White there in 9th, Hoggy there in 10th, and obviously me Rufus there down in 11th place and struggling, but I think maybe this is the lap he started to put on the pace. Oh, looks like Vod got that all wrong there. Let's just go back and have a look. Yeah, he did get that all wrong, but thankfully he didn't spin. Oh, so good Kebab. Looks like Kebab did as well. Wait a minute, let's have a look. I think he got it wrong as well. Oh, Cab's got it wrong as well. The Cab and Vod both got it wrong. Now that's allowed Chuck to close that gap on them significantly now. Is Chuck going to be at a fast enough pace to get past them both before the first corner? Well, he's definitely closing that gap to 15. He is right behind Vodka Rob now. But he's Chuck is definitely hounding the top two guys to get past. So this is a straight battle now for the top three. Now Bloomfield's going to probably there in fourth. he's closing that gap to the top two now as well, to the top three as well. So this is going to be a battle, four-way battle probably for that first position. We are on lap 5 currently. And then there's Jabba there in 5th, Flat B there in 6th. He has got half a second penalty there he's going to have to shave off. Firepower there in 7th, Hoggy there in 8th, P White there in 9th, right behind Hoggy, looking to try and get past him. Well, there is a straight battle here between 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. So there are some good little battles going on at the moment. With Benza there in 10th. And Rufus there in 11th spot. His fastest lap time is a 2 minutes 20.2. But he is purple. Let's stay with Rufus for a second. Is Rufus going to take the fastest lap here? Just out of interest, he gets that bit wrong. So no, he probably won't take the fastest lap now. Yeah, no he doesn't. He's got up to a 2:19, but he lost out on that one. He could have taken the fastest lap. Anyway, let's go back up to the front. Cab's still got the lead and he's pulled away a bit now. Chuck has got up to 2nd with Bluefield up to 3rd. Vodka down to 4th now. It looks like Bloomfield is really hounding Chuck to get past. Jabba there in 5th, Hoggy there in 6th, Flat B there in 7th, he's being hounded by P White there in 8th. Firepower there in 9th, he's been hounded by Benzo in 10th. Obviously then there's Rufus there in 11th. Wallback, he's definitely closing that gap on him. Yeah, he is definitely closing the gap on him, but whether it's going to be enough time for him to get out of last place is going to be another thing. But he is running faster laps than them at the moment. So lap 6, Cub still has the lead, with Chuck there chasing him down in 2nd. And Bloomfield there in 3rd, Rod there in 4th, Jab there in 5th, Hoggy there in 6th. You got Flat B and P White battling out for that 7th spot at the moment. So that's Flat B still has that 7th spot. No, P White is now up to 7th. He's got past Flat B by an outside move. But they are still battling here. Can Flat B take that 7th spot back from P White? Well, no, P White is a little bit ahead of him. And Benzo there in 9th. And Firepower down in 10th place. And Rufus is there in 11th spot. And he is running much quicker laps than the guys ahead of him. Not everyone, but he is actually running quite quick laps compared to everyone else who's ahead of him. So he is closing that gap on to him. The Cab still have got the lead, with Chuck there in second, Bloomfield there in third, but he's got a half-second penalty. Bod there in fourth, Jab there in fifth, and there's a big gap to Hoggy in sixth, with P. Watt there in seventh, Flat B there in eighth, Benzo there in ninth, Firepower there in 10th, and Rufus there in 11th. He's got half a second penalty now, but he is closing that gap on Firepower significantly quickly. Let's go on board with Firepower. Juggling to get around this corner. Now come down the long straight. You can see Benzo's spray just ahead of him. And then in the distance you can see Rufus coming around this corner. Coming around the next few corners. You see Rufus is trying to close that gap on him at the moment, but he's not having much luck. Coming down to the next corner, trying to take it very easy. He is on them intermediates, he is struggling a little bit, everyone else is on the wets. So he's on the completely wrong tyres, unfortunately. You can see he's struggling through all his corners because Rufus literally has just closed that gap on him significantly. Coming around the next corner. And Rufus just goes up the inside, says thank you very much. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at that one again. The Rufus is right behind Firepower here, looking to get past. Firepower goes out a bit wide, and that's allowed Rufus to go for the overtake. So that's Rufus now up to 10th place. Firepower now down to last place. And Rufus is all purple at the moment as well. So back up to the front, lap 8. Cabs is in first still. Chuck is still chasing him down in second. But they've opened up a bit of a gap to Bloomfield, who goes completely wide there in third. That will allow Jabber to take third spot from him for now. But I think Bloomfield might be able to speed up quicker, accelerate quicker, because obviously where he was. But Bloomfield does look like he wants to get that third spot back from Jabber now. And P. White there in 6th, with Hoggy there in 7th, Flat B there in 8th, Benzo there in 9th. And then there's a gap to Rufus there in 10th. And Firepower, he pulled away from Firepower, who's in 11th spot. So at the moment, Chuck has really closed that gap on Kebab Man's at the moment. P. White has just taken the fastest lap with a 2 minutes 18.8. So he is like the quickest guy on the field. But Chuck is really trying to get past Kebab here. Kebab is just keeping his car in the right position. And Jumpy is there in third. He's got Bloomfield in fourth chasing him, and Vodka Rob there in fifth chasing him. At the moment, Chuck is not being able to get past Kebab Band. Kebab doing a good job keeping Chuck behind him. But we are on lap 9, so 4 laps to go. No, 3 laps to go after this. So Cab's just got 3 laps to hold Chuck up behind him. That's going to be a very tall order for Kebab Band to keep Chuck behind him. Can he do it? We will have to see if Cabs can keep Chuck behind him. So at the moment, Cab is still managing to keep Chuck behind him. Jab there in third. Bloomfield there in fourth. Vod there in fifth. P. White there in sixth. Hoggy there in seventh. Flat B there in eighth. Benzo there in ninth. Rufus there in 10th. He is closing that gap on Benzo gradually, and Rufus has taken the fastest lap at the moment. So currently Rufus is actually the fastest guy on the track with the fastest time. But can he, with him setting the fastest laps at the moment, can he put that into action and get past Benzo? Because there is only 2 laps remaining. Well, 3 laps. Well, 2 laps. Oh, Flat B's lost it. What happened to Flat B? Coming around this bit, slightly just behind Hoggy. Oh, we got that corner all wrong and he's spun out, so now he's going to lose a few positions now, unfortunately. So that's allowed Rufus to take 9th spot. So that's goes to say, you never, when you have a bad start to a race, never give up. Because there's always going to be people who are going to have mistakes and come off, especially in wet weather. So we're on lap 10, Cab still has the lead with a little bit of a gap to Chuck in second. With Jabba there in third, going out a bit wide there, but keep managing to keep it on the track. Hello to the 2 who are watching currently. Only a couple laps remaining for Cabs to keep that lead, but Chuck is really hounding him. Is this going to be Chuck's opportunity to pass? He's up by the side of Kebab Lambs now, challenging Cabs for that lead, and he did it. Chuck has got past Cabs, so Chuck is now up to first with Kebab Lambs down to second. But will Cab be able to come back at Chuck now? That's the question. P. White has now taken the fastest lap with a 2:18.4. Jab there in third. He's got Bloomfield hounding him all over over his rear bumper at the moment. Jab goes out a bit wide there. And Chuck has half a second penalty. He's opened up that gap to Kebabman's now, but Chuck's going to have to serve that penalty on this lap. So that will allow Cabs to probably if not, he will close that gap back on Chuck. I don't think he will pass him. I don't think he's close enough to pass, but it is a big possibility. So he's serving it now. Cab's got very low fuel now. With Jabba there in third. Greenfield there in fourth. So they're just about to start their final lap now. So coming on to the final lap, Chuck has the lead with Cab there in second. Jabba there in third, Bluefield there in fourth, Vodka there in fifth, PY there in sixth, Hoggy there in seventh, Benzo there in eighth, Rufus there in ninth, Flat B there in 10th, and Firepower there in 11th with lots of fuel remaining. It looks like everyone's going to be starting to struggle for fuel now. But hopefully everyone has enough to last till the end of the race. But this is the final lap now anyway. But Chuck has opened up that gap. It's like looking at Cab's fuel, its fuel is very, very low. Looks like now his fuel's all gone. It looks like, Kebabman has run out of fuel. He was doing so well and now he's got no fuel, so he's having to coast now towards the end of the track, so that's all. Dear, not very good for Kebabs. I bet he must be cursing this game at the moment now. So that's allowed Jab to get up to second spot. Bloomfield there is challenging Jabba. Is Jabba going to get past? Is Bloomfield going to get past Jabba here? He does. So Bloomfield's up to second now. Jab, let's go back up to the front now. Chuck is going to take victory number 2 for the day. Bloomfield's going to take second. Vod's going to take third. Jabba's running out of fuel now as well, so he's going to finish in fourth. Hoggy's going to finish in fifth. PY's going to finish in sixth. Benjo's going to finish in 7th. Rufus is going to finish in 8th. And Cab, after he's losing that fuel, he was in the top 2 for all the race, come to the final couple of sections, and he runs out of fuel. So you got to feel bad for that man there. He actually finishes 9th. Flat B will finish in 10th spot. And Firepower will finish in 11th. So now that was race 2. I hope you enjoyed. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. I will see you next time for round 9 at Trial Mountain. So bye bye for now.